This presentation is for Land and Sea Masters, which is a pier and dock construction company in Florida. And they actually sent me a list of icons that they wanted to have created inside GraphPad. And so here we can see what they had in mind, which is basically boat lifts, jet ski lifts, and then also docking. The docking is a little more interesting because they might want to actually draw those out physically so they can actually calculate areas and estimate calculate the square footage and then estimate material costs, etc. They also have these deadmen, and I actually like to show how we can use those and actually create those as icons inside GraphPad. And so in this case, I've actually created a simple library, and you can actually see I've got the deadmen already here. And I've created a simple drawing replicating kind of a seawall. I'm not in that business, so I don't know much about how it would work, but I'm estimating that, for example, they have a total of 224 linear feet of seawall that they need to create. They had a capstone that they need to estimate the material costs of, and so as we added this border, we show the 30-inch capstone has a unit price, and the linear square footage is automatically calculated. As they add the deadmen, it actually keeps track of the number of deadmen. If there was a unit cost, it would calculate that as well. And we see I've actually added an icon for a jet ski lift. If we look down here, the legend is automatically being populated with any entity that I add to the drawing. So for example, it's got the capstones, it's got the deadmen. The new object is that I hadn't put in the name for that. But if you wanted to, you could just go in there and change it. So for example, if you wanted to change this to 2 foot, and we won't go through the whole thing, but just whatever you typed in there, right? And it would capture that. So now the important thing is that they're going to want to have more than just the entities that I'm demonstrating here. So the power behind GraphPad is that they can create their own objects. And in this case, I'm going to demonstrate creating a scaled deadman. And so I'm going to zoom in to make it easier. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into line mode. I'm going to actually draw out the sunk portion, which is a 2x2 block that they're actually going to dig into the ground. I'm going to select the boundaries around that and fill that with a black color. Now from the center, I'm going to draw a line. I want that to be exactly 12 feet, so I'll just type in that number here. In my case, I actually want it to also have the dimensions so we can actually see what it is, so we can line that up. And now we want to capture this as an image so we can actually put it into our drawing. And so all I'm going to do is I'm going to, and actually we want to start over here, would be a better idea. I just need to make sure that it looks exactly the way I want it to. And actually I know that when it appears in the library, it's going to be a little bit, truncate a little bit off the end of it, so I'm going to make it a little bit longer. Now, when we drop an image onto the drawing, it's going to have alignment points both at the center and at the corners. And so if I line it up so that this line is in the center of the drawing, and then also this endpoint is aligned with the edge, now it will snap into alignment. And to create that as an entity, all I'd have to do is go into create image. It's going to then add it as the last entity down here. And if we go to my images, it's now this last object. Okay, I can edit it. Now I want it to automatically maintain its scale, so whatever size it was created at in this 5-foot drawing, it's going to automatically resize. And I happen to not like the rotation handles beyond, they're kind of annoying, so we save that, and we can change the name. And I'm just going to put in one letter so we can see how that works. Just call it R, or actually yes, in this case E. Save, close. And now if we go to another drawing, now the scale is 40 feet. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to simulate having about 116 linear feet of seawall. I'm going to select the line, and I will then select, and I have to go to my new images, right, and go to that image that I just created. I can estimate it equal spacing, not more than 10 feet apart, calculate. It's now applied all the units I wanted to. And let me go back, because what I really want to do, I'll go forward again, sorry. Okay, go to lines, and then I want to add a table. So if I add a table, okay, so now if I go back to my library, select my line, go to my library, my images, go to the image that I want, maximum of 10 feet apart, calculate. So the first thing we know is that it's added it to our drawing. Okay, so it's counted the number of items. It's added it here. They're equally spaced. And now, say for example, the seawall was actually the same distance, but it was at a different angle. Just move this over so it's not on my table. What I can do, I have to zoom in to do this. I can delete this line. Try that again. There we go. And now I can grab all of these items, zoom out a little bit more, group them, try this again, group them, rotate them into alignment, and then position them along the seawall. Okay, so that's how GraphPad is going to work with these items. The important thing is that clients can create their own entities, and so rather than have me have to charge for each one of these entities that's created, they can create their own libraries. They can distribute those libraries as they like. And that's my presentation. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you.